That was Ladi6 and Lightbulb, and before that, Louis Baker and Black Crow. And it's great to have both Lady and Louis next to me here in the Wellington Museum. Hi, guys.
Kia ora.
Hi.
Hey.
Thank you so much for coming down. Have you been and had a look at the exhibition?
Yeah, just had a squiz now for like the last 20 minutes. It's been beautiful to see some memories and see the history and see it so well documented as well. It's nice to...
Yeah,
Nice
good
to
to
see.
check it out. Lady, you were from Christchurch, but you were hanging around in Wellington around the time that album was put out. What do you remember about the scene back then?
Straight away, eh? Okay, let me think.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing.
It's 20 years ago, so
Yeah.
I just, you know.
No, but it's also like enmeshed in a whole bunch of other things that were happening for me. But and also the relationships that I have with some of the band members like go back a long way. So it all ends up being like, was that Wellington or was that elsewhere? You know. But what I remember was like Welly was the place to be. I wanted to move here immediately. It felt a little bit like similar to how I felt when I first ever went to New York. There was an energy in the street, and it was a lot of things going on, like lots of different bands were popping off, lots of like up-and-coming groups were happening. People were like, it felt very exciting, and I felt lucky to be here because I felt like maybe I was one of the only ones from Ototahi outside of like Dallas and his whānau that also came from there. And he was kind of like actually my only one I kind of knew. And then my sister moved here years before that, but that was a whole hip-hop story, so that's my hip-hop history, which that's why it gets enmeshed,
Yeah.
you know, with all the different vibes. But
Yeah.
I just remember being like, this is my party city, like saying that when I would go home, like, I go there to party.
Well, yeah, I was talking to Scott and Joe before, and they were saying that back then it was a part, like the clubs were open till like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and you'd start a jazz gig at 3 a.m. and that was just a normal thing to do
Yeah.
during the week in Wellington.
I think I heard at the time that maybe it was like the latest opening, like the clubs were open the latest in the whole of New Zealand, like Auckland didn't have clubs that open that late. So, and I just remember it being, or do I remember? That's the question.
Yeah, because you were probably a bit younger than us. Were you around much in those 2000s?
Well, I first heard boats when I was 15, 16,
Snap.
fifth form.
What?
And
Excuse me?
I didn't say anything. So I first fell in love with the record then, and we would, play it all the time in the morning, and so I wasn't really, obviously it wasn't
You
around
weren't out in the
in
clubs
the golden
at
era.
15.
Yeah.
What?
Why
Oh,
would
what
you,
a
bro?
loser. No.
What a loser. Really?
Not out in the
Really?
clubs at 15, come on.
Studying
We do
physical
that in Christchurch.
Yeah.
Where were you? But no, I mean, I sort of came up doing my own thing, and then having like Brachiosaurus Rex being part of that kind of thing, and there'd be, I first did my first kind of opening set in 2012 for Fat Freddy's at Bodega.
And what was that
So
like?
that was probably kind of the start of kind of
Having
connection.
had that album and it being so influential, and then being like, well, now I'm opening for this band.
Yeah, massive. Like huge inspiration to me. Massive, like inspiration sonically, vocally. Dallas, just like, obviously being up on stage and kind of opening up for them at that point. Yeah, it was just dream come true, really.
Yeah. And then you ended up on this album, Lady. How did that come about? Was it your friendship with Dallas, or they just worked out that you were pretty good on the mic?
Actually, I was trying to think of that before I came in. I was like, do I remember how that actually happened? Because there was a time where, when I first met Freddy's, we were at this show called Alpine Unity, and I'm not sure if I came with them or I was there with my band Verse 2, and they happened to be there. And then I don't know if they were a whole band or if it was just like Moo and Dell, because there's a photo that shows that it's Moo and Dell, but in my memory it's like the whole band. So, things get like mixed up. But I remember because it was Dallas, they were doing like maybe Midnight Maraud or something like that, and I felt compelled to go to the stage and just like wave him down. I had a love around my neck, and I was like, Dallas, let me up on the stage. And he's like, oh, Lee, oh, you. And he like pulls me up on the stage, and then I just like had a freestyle. Somebody took a photo, and I just remember like it was like, it felt like a magical time, like the sun was going down behind them, behind the stage. And I remember thinking, like, how have I never heard this? Because I knew Dallas from growing up, and I'm best friends with his sisters, and he was in like this all boy band, or no, not band, what do you call those, like boys to men?
Yeah, like a barbershop or a chorale or a...
Exactly, called Symphony. So, anyway, the point of my story is that I felt comfortable to just jump up there. And then from there, I think I was aware of Moo. And it was his music that was like, made me like go. And then Dallas being like, oh yeah, he'll be sweet with me coming up. Like, Dallas. And then after that, I don't know. I can't remember how I ended up. My band did a couple of songs where Moo produced them. Verse 2, he did Danger and Gold. Or did he just do Gold? And then at some stage, they all came and picked us up from one of our first flats in Auckland and just like took us. They just like came by, beeped the horn, and we ran out and jumped in this van and went on tour with them, thinking that we were the best, that this was like the best time of our lives, and this is what we came to Auckland for, to be like musicians. And yeah. So I don't know. Long story short, I think Nicole rang me, got me down. I came down and just by myself, and Polder wasn't there for roadie, and wrote and recorded my parts.
Yeah, I've heard lots of stories like that about Moo, how he always had lots of time to work on other people's projects. I was talking to Nick Gaffney, and he goes, I was there and I had the song, and he's like, in retrospect, it was the worst song you've ever heard, but Moo and Dallas treated it like it was this genuine masterpiece, and they put all this work into it, and it was absolutely rubbish. But he has great stories about how Moo always had so much time for other artists and stuff.
That's cute.
Yeah, real cute. But so you ended up on the roadie song, right?
Yes. Yeah, and I don't remember the exact details of like whether or not the song was a fully formed thing, or if I was just writing to like an idea. But all I remember, honestly, if I'm to be just truthful, I felt like fainting, and I remember just like Nicole coming down with like these nuts and a sandwich and being like, eat this. That's what I remember mostly, was like...
Because you were nervous, or you hadn't eaten, or you just...
I'm not sure.
Low glucose levels.
Yeah, exactly.
Perhaps.
Low glucose levels. I can't remember, because my son's 22 and 3 months, so I can't remember like... Had I just had a baby, and maybe I was
you
like...
You must have just had him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no, 20 years ago. Maybe you were pregnant and you didn't know.
Exactly. Boom, we've solved it. That's it. I was pregnant and I didn't know.
Yeah. Louis, you've picked What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers to play, which we're going to play shortly, but there's a story behind it. Can you tell us about the song?
Oh, just nothing too stupendous, just like finish the gig, get on the bus, everybody's winding down, debriefing, drink in hand probably, and we would just kind of go around the bus and play, DJ 1 for 1, and everybody would sort of go around, but eventually some sort of yacht rock would come on, and you'd obviously, we're all fans of Michael McDonald.
Yeah.
I'm a massive fan of him. But yeah, so that kind of came around, and then we would just end up singing along to What a Fool Believes.
Yeah, and so this was on the last tour that you did with Freddy's?
Yeah, probably on both tours. It was quite a favourite of ours.
Who doesn't love Michael McDonald? Actually, me and Joe have done a whole deep dive into yacht rock. It's on the RNZ website if you want to check it out. But in the meantime, this is What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers. Doobie Brothers and What a Fool Believes here on Music 101 on RNZ National. I've got Louis Baker and Ladi6 with me. That was a big song on the Fat Freddy's tour bus when you guys were on tour. What other songs were getting jammed on the tour bus?
Oh, there was always the Michael McDonald, imitations and things. So you can imagine. But
you'd probably be the only one that'd be any good at them, though, wouldn't you?
Trying hard to recreate what ain't yet to be created.
Amazing. I love that.
But no, just for a laugh. But there were other ones. There were, I don't know. It's as deep in reggae music, disco music, funk, soul, jazz music. It's kind of like everything that you can imagine. And I don't know. Take a guess.
What are your go-tos on the old tour bus there, lady?
I just recall getting like Joe tolerating it for about one of my picks for about like half a song, and then being like, and now back to me. And I'm like, sweet as, I don't mind.
I mean, Joe was saying today that his son's a great DJ now, and he doesn't really let Joe DJ that much. So.
Oh, see, payback.
Yeah. But
Go, Benny.
Speaking of tours, you've just announced a tour.
Yes, summer tour. It's just a mashup of like festival spots and then like my own shows. But one of my shows that I'm really excited about is in this is going to stretch
I've
the
got
memory
the list
banks.
in front of me.
Okay, with Headlock. Where is that?
That's in Oakura at Butler's Reef.
Yes, there you go.
Headlock, of course, Schaefer and Kinkapisi, which is on the 7th of February.
Yes. So we did a little private function recently, and I forget how like bomb they are. I mean, just because time goes and you don't hear those records, and then you hear those songs, and you're like, legendary.
Yeah, Kinkapisi,
Legendary.
another Wellington music
There
scene.
you go.
Iconic.
Exactly.
Iconic.
Yeah, iconic.
For sure.
So that's cool. So New Year's and a whole bunch of festivals playing. Where are you playing New Year's?
New Year's Eve, this is the thing, me and my best girlfriend, who also is my tour manager, Audrey Siatanga, shout out to her, we spent 2 New Year's, like for the first time ever, and the last 2 New Year's in a row, like at home. So the first New Year's, we were like, oh, this is nice. It was a novelty. And we're like, ooh. And we walked down and watched the Sky Tower and the fireworks. We're like, this is so cool. Then the second year, we're like, oh, we want to go dance. And there was nothing happening in town. So we were like, okay, if we're here in Auckland, the next New Year's Eve, we're going to start our own party. And this is it. And I'm calling it Ladi6's house party with a whole bunch of my mates.
Mean.
And
It's a double whammy.
it's at Double Whammy, Little Whammy, and the bar. So it's the whole area underneath. It's a big underground lounge,
is
basically.
amazing idea, because I feel like everyone goes away for New Year's, and if you're stuck in Tamaki, there's literally nothing to do.
Nothing to do. And it's like a tap in, and then you can tap out, check the kids, and then come back, tap back in, and hopefully it's a little bit more chill than a festival vibe. Like I think don't come with your diamante stuck to your face, and you're you could come in your dressing gown, It's
Your
chill.
pajamas.
It's chill. It's like a lounge vibe, yeah. But except you just have all these amazing artists happening to be playing in your lounge too.
Wow. That sounds like a great way to spend New Year's.
Yeah, come along, everyone.
And now we were talking off air, Louis, you've just finished a record.
Yeah, just finished a record. It's being mixed at the moment. Yeah.
Exciting. Can you tell us anything else about it? When's it going to come out, do you think?
I think, it's just finished, just being mixed, hasn't been mastered yet. So, it feels really good to have it done and kind of, be able to produce another record. This will be the second record I've fully produced and written myself, and feels nice to just kind of keep evolving and keep creating, and feels kind of like a development on my last record, Medicine. And there's kind of like the sort of 70s. I'm a sucker for the 70s sound. The way the drums sound, the way the kind of like the instrumentation, I guess. And then we'll be doing some shows next year.
Yeah.
Yet to be announced, but we'll probably look at doing some New Zealand and Australia shows, and then. Yeah, see how that goes.
See how you go.
Yeah.
You both like producing your own music. What has it always been like that? What do you get from being able to do that creative process right from the start to the end?
Well, I don't produce the record. Parks produces the record, and it's a very volatile situation, to be honest. So I wouldn't have a clue. Ask him. He's not here, so. But what I do love is that it's our little team, and it's always in our whare, and it's always us just, fighting and then making a song.
Because that's why I was like, I'm sure that you produce it, because Parks is there, but I'm sure you have a lot of input.
I write the songs initially. Usually, I spark the idea. Maybe I'll do like the whole initial song, but it's changed so much from the initial idea. By the time that it comes out, I don't even recognize the damn song myself. So he really does produce in that like executive producer kind of like style, where he really will just look at the whole body of work and then decide kind of with me, but often not really, like I said, volatile, where we're going to go. And I just trust him 100% to be the tastemaker of the sound, because we've made, 4 records together, and he's just always on some new, I want to swear, but the S word, you know, he's just on some next level ideas that I'm just down. I'm just like, yes, whatever you want, honey, go for it.
And he's just finished his master's in what? In music something?
And music, definitely. It's something that I have to wrap my head around to remember exactly what it's called, but it is a master's. It's very important work, and he'll know more about it. And now he's going to elevate and do his doctorate on it for the next couple of years. And it's, yeah, I won't go into it because honestly, I'll probably
Butcher it.
Yeah, I'll butcher it. Yes, exactly. I was going to say stuff it up, but I'll butcher his great work. So
Yeah, we'll have to get him on the show for a chat
yes,
about
please.
it.
Yeah, can you?
Yes, I definitely will. And what's that producing like for you, working on your own songs like that?
It's beautiful. Comes in, you know, the phases of energy are sort of, you know, they're on or they're off, or, you know, it's up and down, and it's all the flavors, all the colors, I guess, you know, like, so every day is different. But I love to listen to records, and just spatially I'll hear the panning, or the way this sort of, you know, the way the guitar sounds, the way the snare sounds, and I get quite fixated on the sonic sort of parts, so I can go down the rabbit hole. But I really enjoy the whole thing from start to finish, and yeah, there's sometimes it feels a bit like the endurance runner, you know, like you get to the end, 90% is done, but then that last 10% is like
Can't do it.
incredibly tough.
Yeah.
But you just you're kind of fighting to just squeeze out any kind of juice of creativity, and maybe you add all the ideas and sort of, and then you start taking the sort of, you know, subtraction, taking things away and finding the essence there. But you have to add them to know you didn't need them in the first and at the end, if that makes any kind of sense. But yeah, so it's just following your intuition and your nose, and just trying to find these things. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love it.
I'm very excited to hear that album, Lady. We can't wait to see you on tour. I think I might be in Tamaki Makaurau for New Year's.
Oh.
So maybe I'll pop along to your party. But the last song we're going to go with is Boon Digger by Fat Freddy's Drop, which was another song that you picked.
Yeah, special tune. Probably my favourite Freddy's tune, and special because I got to play it so many times. The boys,
yes. Yeah, was this your jam on tour?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Louis Baker, Ladi6, thank you guys so much.
Thank you. My favourite song is Roadie. Just everyone.
That's the one you sing on, eh?
No?
Oh, no.
Do I? Oh, yeah, maybe I do.
Yeah, okay. All right. Let's listen to Boon Digger, though.